Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I will be doing a Spirit Halloween 2022 animatronic tier list. Now, this was arguably one of Spirit Halloween's worst years in history, if not their worst year in history of all time, because there were a bunch of really lazy animatronics released this year, a bunch of really stupid and lame and goofy animatronics released this year. And I have to say, I agree, this was a horrible year for Spirit. And there were only one or maybe two animatronics this year that were really good. Maybe three, maybe four, maybe I'm over exaggerating. But still, this year was a big disappointment. But we're going to be ranking all the animatronics today. So, yeah. Let's start with Jerry. This is one that was released as an online only a little bit, I think, before the 2022 Halloween season started. And I gotta say, people are really don't like him at all, but I actually think he's decent. I'm gonna put him in good because I definitely don't think he deserves great or best at all. But I think he's a good zombie prop. I think he's definitely not as good as, well, actually, I might like him a bit more than Bog Zombie. We'll get to that later. But that's Jerry. He's not bad. He's pretty cool. I like how he's, holding the axe, and his arm actually has some gore on it, which is something we don't see very often from Spirit Halloween, especially from this year, 2022. Here we have Betty Sharp. Yeah, straight into the trash pile. Throw her in the garbage can. She is definitely the worst animatronic from Spirit Halloween 2022, in my opinion. And I know there are a lot of people who like her, but I really don't see how someone can like this animatronic. And by the way, I shouldn't even call it an animatronic. It's pretty much just a static prop. The only animation is in the bag. So you might as well have put like a mouse in the bag and like it's moving around in the bag. So yeah, this prop is so lazy, so dumb. Also, the blood on her looks freaking horrible. It looks like she has like black freckles or something. So it looks really horrible. And her smile is too cheesy for me to even handle. So yeah, Betty Sharp, definitely the worst animatronic, or no, not animatronic, the worst prop from Spirit Halloween 2022. Yeah, she's horrible, and God, she is really bad. Reagan, this is one that really has grown off me quite a bit, and I'm putting her in meh because the Reagan that was released by Spirit Halloween, I don't even know what year it was released. I think maybe 2010, maybe 2011. I forget. Maybe 2012. But the Reagan that was released back then is a lot, like, miles better than this one, and it makes this one look like a complete joke. This one, yeah, it really, now that I think about it, I don't like it at all. I used to say I kind of liked it, but now I'm like, meh, this one is horrible. I mean, not horrible, but it's like not good. Not good at all. I guess the only unique thing about it is the projector, which is fine. But other than that, not really good at all. Here we have Monty. And this animatronic has kind of grown off me too. Lots of animatronics from Spirit Halloween 2022 have grown off me. I'll put him in the good pile, though, because I do think he is a good animatronic. I think he is a little, he's unique. I think his concept is really cool. And I think he turned out to be a really cool, I mean, not really cool, but like he turned out to be, a giant mutant monkey, which I think can really terrify some people. But to me, he's not like really that scary. I mean, his face can be really creepy sometimes. But, and his head is ginormous, by the way. But his animation is kind of weird. And also, this animatronic is really faulty. But, yeah. But other than that, he's fine. He's a unique animatronic. And, I'm going to be honest, it would have been better if he was, released this year for 2024, because he would have fit in really well with the carnival theme. But yeah, that's Monty. I think he's I think he's okay. I think he's good. That's why I put him in, good tier. Here we have the 2022 remake of Little Skelly Bones, and I'm going to put him in probably the bottom, because He's horrible. Like, I mean, he's really grown off me. He's goofy. He's short. The jump scare doesn't work that well. I mean, it is a really fast jump scare, but keep in mind, this thing breaks like hell. So, sorry, Crazy Crate. You did absolute horrible job on remaking Little Skelly Bones. Yeah, the swinging Little Skelly Bones is way better than this one. Horrible. Sorry, I'm coughing. He's horrible. I don't like him at all. He's goofy as hell. I'd say he's better than Betty Sharp, though. That's for sure. Jesus, let's get that out of the way. But no, he's horrible. Rat Girl, another one going into absolute trash. But I'd say she's better than Betty Sharp because at least she has more animation. She's actually swinging. And but her phrases are trash. Her voice is trash. Her looks are trash. All she is like a freaking girl on a swing. And she's like holding a rat with ketchup on it. It doesn't even look like blood. So yeah, she's freaking horrible. Yeah, really, really bad. Really turned out horrible. And yeah, as you can see from the tier list so far, 2022, horrible, horrible year. Sorry, I'm like feeling kind of sick now. Tombstone Terror. Yeah, another one going into trash, but at least it's better than Betty Sharp. But I don't know if I'd say it's better than Rat Girl. Maybe it is, because at least it has something to do with Halloween. Rat Girl is literally just a girl on a swing holding a rat, and Betty Sharp is a girl with freaking black, what do you call it? Black freckles, holding a slightly bloody knife and a bag. But I don't think it's better than. I don't think Tombstone Terror is better than Little Skelly Bones because I think it's just skull that pops up behind a tombstone, so it's really boring. Yeah, nothing I have to say about him. Bag of Bones. At least this one's unique, so I'm going to put it in meh because it is better than Tombstone Terror. The skeleton looks a lot less cheap than Tombstone Terror. But it's still kind of a lazy idea and still pretty boring. It's just at the end of the day, it's just a skeleton popping out of a bag or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's boring, and yeah, that's a Bag of Bones going into meh. Here we have the roaming doll that returned. I'll put her in trash because I don't like the roaming props at all, or the roaming doll props especially. Bog Zombie. Like I said, I like Gary more than Bog Zombie, but I still think he deserves good tier. Do I like Bog Zombie more than Monty? Yeah, definitely. He's more of like he's a zombie. Zombies are always usually really creepy and Halloween-y. He's more, he's better than Monty. So yeah, and he's got more animation, like his mouth animation and his, moving from like around. So yeah, Bog Zombie is pretty cool, but Gary is a better zombie in my opinion. But yeah. Mr. Punchy. Okay. This is a animatronic that really kind of striked me in the face when it was released. And not really in a bad way, to be honest. But there's no way I'm gonna have this guy up like in great or best. Mr. Punchy, hold on, I'm gonna talk about him for a while before I actually put him in a tier. When he was first released, I thought he looked really unique and really cool. And I thought his face looked really cool. And I still do, to this day, think his face looks actually pretty unique and cool. Especially with that, wire thing, the light up wire thing on his face. He looks really cool in the dark, by the way. But the thing about this animatronic is that he breaks so easily. Like when my local Spirit Halloween set him up, I got to see him only like 2 times. And then when I came back, I stepped on his step pad. He didn't even move an inch. So, and yeah, I've heard from other haunters, he is a horrible animatronic. He breaks very easily. He's horrible. And by the way, his animation is really boring. All he does is move in circles. So it's just, at the end of the day, I really overhyped this guy. And I thought he was really cool. And he ended up being just meh. But that's not saying I'm going to put him in meh. Because, here, I'm just going to talk about the prop right now. I'm not talking about whether he breaks or not. The actual character isn't that bad. It's just he can look pretty plasticky. He is made by Party Time, so that's probably why. Although Party Time made Crouchy, and Crouchy's way better. But Mr. Punchy is, if you watch videos of him in the dark, he looks really cool. His light up effect is really cool in his lower half and his face. It looks really cool in the dark. And honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it actually looks kind of pretty. Like, I've never even said that about a Halloween animatronic. Halloween animatronics are never supposed to look pretty or beautiful or like good, but they're supposed to look good, but not like in that way. But the lights on this guy are really they're really cool. And I'm going to be honest, because of that, just because of how he looks in the dark and because of his face, I like his face a bit. I'm going to put him at the bottom of the good tier. But other than that, he is still a pretty bad prop. Don't get him, by the way, like I said, because he breaks really easily. Even though he's on sale right now on the website for, by the way, a pretty cheap price, $167.99. I mean, you could get him as a static prop if you want. Like, if you like static props, get him because, he'll work for a little bit, and then he'll turn into a static prop. He'd be a cool static prop, I guess, but he's still goofy. His phrases, oh, by the way, I haven't talked about his phrases yet. God, his phrases are goofy. I used to kind of like his phrases, but they've really grown off me, and I've really came to realize that his phrases are goofy as hell. And it's funny because he actually says the word hell in one of his phrases, but his voice is goofy. His phrases are goofy. And at the end of the day, he's a pretty goofy clown, but at the end of the day, he also looks really cool in the dark. That's why I'm putting him in the good tier, but he's at the bottom of good tier. He's not even better than Monty, which is sad. Lord Raven. Wow. This is the first prop going into the best/favorites pile. He's my favorite, or no, sorry. I don't actually think he's my favorite from Spirit Halloween 2022 anymore. I think there's another animatronic that I like a lot better because it's an animatronic that I didn't get to see in person in 2022, but then I later got to see in person in 2023. But still, Lord Raven is definitely one of the only ones in the year of 2022 that was actually pretty cool and unique and good. And that's why I'm putting him in the best/favorites pile, because he is one of my favorites from 2022. I like his outfit. I think it's like a kind of cool Reaper cloak over the skeleton, over like a skeleton Raven Reaper. He's pretty cool. I just wish he was kind of taller, I guess. His animation is nice, though, and his phrases are pretty creepy. So, yeah, Lord Raven's pretty good. I like him. That's why he's up here. He's like, compared to all the other animatronics or most of the animatronics from 2022, he's like so much better. Nozzles the Clown. Man, I hate this. I mean, I don't really hate Nozzles, but he's not a good clown. He's not good at all. His price is way too expensive. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but I think he's like either $400 or $349.99. I forget his price, but I know he's really way too expensive. He's gonna go in meh, and he'll be at the top of meh because I think he's better than these two. But still, he's a really goofy clown. His phrases are goofy. His voice is goofy. He looks pretty goofy in person. I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to make a unique, toxic clown, but they failed in my book. He's really bad. He really has grown off me. I used to actually kind of like him when he was released, but no, he's not that good. And I never got to see him with Fog, which is horrible. They never really set up animatronics with Fog in here where I live. But Lucky Bottoms. I don't know why there are two trash piles, but I'll put him at I'm putting him in trash because he's bad. He really has grown off me quite a bit. When I first saw him was released, I thought he's kind of cool, but no, he's not really. I was really wrong. I'll put him at the top of trash, though, because he's definitely a lot better than the rest of the ones in trash. He's at least a little creepy because he has black eyes, pure black eyes, which is actually something pretty cool. Other than that, his animation is just like a thrashing animation, and his audio is probably the most annoying audio. Or no, Night Stalker is more annoying than him, but his audio is still really annoying, and that's why sometimes Spirit Halloween managers decided to like turn his audio down because it's so annoying, especially people activating him all day. So yeah, Lucky Bottom's another really goofy and bad clown in my opinion. Oh, here we go. Here's a breath of fresh air. Toothy. Yes, I'm gonna put him in. Well, let's see. Does he deserve? Well, I'll just put him in great for now because he's a Pumpkin Nester reskin. He's a clown version of Pumpkin Nester, which I think is pretty cool. His overall design is really unique. I love the stitched up clown face he has with his black hair. His outfit's pretty cool, but his phrases are kind of goofy and cheesy, which if his phrases were really good and creepy, he'd be up here. But he's in great because he still looks really creepy, and I still think lots of kids would be afraid of him, whether or not his phrases are goofy or not. But he's still... I still just wish his phrases were a bit better. But other than that, Toothy the Clown, pretty good clown prop. He's definitely the best clown from Spirit Halloween 2022. Here we have Young Crouchy. And I'm going to put this guy... Yeah. I have to put him in trash. But I'm going to put him ahead of a bit of these because here's the thing. Actually, I'm going to put him at the top of trash, which is funny. Here's the thing. Young Crouchy is literally, in my mind, just a smaller and more affordable version of Crouchy. Other than that, he might be a bit more faulty, and he might break a bit more often than Crouchy, which is too bad. He's probably built a lot cheaper than Crouchy. But when it comes to, like, you know, people that are beginning to start, you know, buying animatronics and, like, they're beginners and stuff, then he's not that bad of an animatronic to buy. Like, if it's like a small family who's trying to display some animatronics on their front lawn for Spirit Halloween, Young Crouchy wouldn't be that bad. But still, he's a lazy idea. They literally just shrunk Crouchy down and made him small, and they didn't even change the audio. They should have made the audio more high-pitched. They should have had his prototype audio, Crouchy's prototype audio, as the audio for Young Crouchy. But no, they just kept the freaking same audio. All they did to change him, really, was... add glowing eyes and make him smaller. But yeah, still, and by the way, I used to like Young Crouchy. When he was released, I used to think, oh, this is pretty cool, I might buy him. But no, my freaking brain was really corrupt in 2022. I don't know what happened to me in 2022, but yeah, I said some crazy stuff, like I actually liked Young Crouchy. But no, he's still a pretty bad and lazy animatronic. That's why he's down in the trash pile. But like I said, for like beginner hunters and for like families that want to like do a nice little display on their front lawn or front like porch, then Young Crouchy would be a nice affordable prop to get probably. But other than that, he's still really bad in my opinion, and I would never get him. Strawman, another one going into the best and favorites, and this is the one I said. This is the one I was talking about earlier. I like him more than Lord Raven, which is something I never really thought I'd say. But I did get to see Strawman in person for the first time last year in 2023 because they finally started setting him up as a filler prop for Martian Warrior. And he was really cool in person. He's the better Grimm, in my opinion, the way better Grimm. He's way more unique than Grimm. One of the best Scarecrow props of all time, but not nearly as good as Barnyard Butcher. But he's still really good, especially for the 2022 year. He's better than Lord Raven, in my opinion. He's my favorite, animatronic from 2022 because I love his animation, his servo animation, just like Grimm. And his phrases aren't goofy. His phrases are actually pretty good and creepy, and I like his voice. So, yeah, Strawman. I was actually considering getting him at one point, but then I decided not to because, here we are today. I'm getting Little Daisy and the Maestro and Heckles this year. But yeah, Strawman, I was still considering getting him, and he is still a pretty good animatronic. I will say that. He's really good, especially for 2022. And even if he was released in 2023 or this year, he'd probably still be pretty high on my list. So this is the one animatronic of 2022 that I would say is really good. I wouldn't really say Lord Raven is really good. I just say he's pretty good. But he's better than Toothy, so I had to put him in my best/favorites. But yeah, that's Strawman. Really cool really cool Scarecrow animatronic. I really like him. Here's the Widow. She's gonna put. After seeing her in person for the first time last year, I'm gonna put her in great because I used to actually not really like her that much when she was released in 2022, which is weird because now that I realize that she was probably the darkest and creepiest animatronic that was released in 2022. But yeah, she's at the top of great for me. She is a great animatronic. I saw her obviously the first time last year because they actually, she was a part of the IOC last year. And yeah, she's very cool. All she does though is snap her neck. I wish she had like a bit more animation. Maybe snapped her neck and then jumped forward. That would be really cool. But other than that, she is really creepy. She reminds me of Demonic Dahlia kind of, except with no blood. So yeah, but I still like the Widow. Pretty cool. Here we have Spike. This is another animatronic that I was just recently thinking of getting because he's so like unbelievably cheap right now. He's on sale right now on their website, but I decided not to get him. He's at like the top of good in my opinion. I think I actually do. Yeah, I like him more than Jerry. So he, I guess, is the best zombie animatronic in my opinion from 2022. And that's really because his face sculpt, I think, is really good. I think Crazy Create did a really good job with his face sculpt. I just wish he had blood. That's why he's not in great. If he had blood and gore, he'd be in great. But since he's like a clean zombie, he's in good. Because I still do like his face sculpt. His face sculpt is really creepy and scary. But his animation, he's just like moving around, hanging from a rope. So yeah. And I really do like how they have like a piece of wood through his head. But then again, there should be blood there. It looks so weird with a whole freaking piece of wood through his forehead and no blood there. But whatever. Spike is still pretty cool. I was still considering getting him at one point, but I decided not to. I decided to get Little Daisy and the Maestro. And yeah. But that is Spike, the best zombie of 2022, in my opinion. Which is it's just very unpopular opinion. Lots of people say Bog Zombie is the best zombie of 2022, but as you can see from my list, he's the worst in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. It doesn't really matter. Here we have Dr. Illume, which was another animatronic released I think in February or March of 2022, so before the Halloween season officially started. I think he's all right. I think I'm going to put him at the bottom of good, or maybe at the top of meh, because he's kind of boring. He kind of reminds me of Michael Jackson, to be honest. I'm not even lying. He literally reminds me of Michael Jackson. His hair, his skin, his face kind of, except his mouth is all wide. But his audio, of course, doesn't really remind me of Michael Jackson. But he's decent. He's just meh. So he's not that great, in my opinion. But I'm sure he looks pretty cool in person. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't like him. Here we have Deadly Creeper. This is okay. I'm putting him at bottom of meh because, he is giant in person. I did get to see him, I think, once in 2022 in person, and he is big. But the only animation it has is the fangs moving up and down. So, and it's not even that creepy. Compare this to Wanda Webworth from this year. You know which one's better just by looking at them. But yeah, this is Deadly Creeper. Not really that good in my opinion. And last but not least, we have Possessed Pumpkin. And I'm going to put this guy at the top of good because he is really menacing and really intimidating in person. But his audio is bad. His phrases are really goofy and bad. And he is a crouchy reskin, so I was really hoping that he'd just have laughing or groaning noises. Then that would make him a really good animatronic. But they had him, of course, they had to make him have goofy phrases with a goofy Cookie Monster voice. That just killed the prop kind of for me. He's still good, though, because he looks really menacing, and I really like the face sculpt of him. And in person, he looks really cool. But other than that, he's just not the best. And Crouchy is way better. So yeah, that's Possessed Pumpkin. But yeah, that does it. That's my Spirit Halloween 2022 animatronic tier list. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye.